Well, the Living Wage Summit, of course, has been convened by the First Minister, and what we're doing is discussing with industry the challenges but the opportunities of becoming living wage companies themselves. We know from research that introducing the living wage into a company actually ends up giving a big benefit to that company through reduced turnover of staff, through increased productivity, happy staff working harder, and generally all-round atmosphere in the workplace is resulting in companies who have introduced the living wage in actually getting an enormous benefit from it instead of what they were worried about. So I think it's a very important lesson, but we mustn't run away from the challenges as well.
The Living Wage Summit, which brought together government, the key business organisations, a key sectoral organisation and a case study of a small business that has recently become a living wage employer, was very useful for two reasons. Firstly, it enabled everybody around the table to signal their support for the living wage, but secondly, it allowed us to have a very practical discussion about what some of the barriers are to companies paying the living wage, because we all accept that most businesses want to pay the living wage, they simply have issues and challenges and barriers to doing so. So the government's job is to help them overcome those challenges, and today's discussion was a very useful part of that.
I met a couple of groups of people this morning. First, the baristas behind the coffee bar in St Andrew's House, but also some of the Scottish Government apprentices. It's very difficult for a government to encourage others to do it if they're not doing it themselves. It can be done. It can be done with a very big, complex organisation like Scottish Government. But equally, I've seen companies that are only fewer than 10 employees doing it as well. And I think it's a great day for the Scottish Government to be accredited, but it's a good example for everybody else to follow.